In this video, I'm going to show you how to use OBS Studio. OBS is open broadcaster software. It's a free and open source software for video recording, live streaming on different platforms such as Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. OBS is available on Windows, Mac operating system, Linux. You can find it free, which means you can use it, you can share, you can reshare with your friends. It's completely free. Now to start with, to download and install OBS, all you need is just to open your browser. Go to the search bar and just search for Google, and you can just search for OBS Studio just like so, and it's going to bring you to this very platform. Here you can click on OBS or obsproject.com and it's going to bring you to this very platform. Like I said, it's available for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. I'm for Mac OS, so I can just select for Mac, and it's going to pop up that I should choose which of the version of Mac operating system I'm using. I'm using Mac Intel, so I'm going to just select Intel to download and install. Now the installation process is very simple. You just follow the step-by-step process. It's just step-by-step process. So I'm just going to install my own and I'll meet you at the other side. Now after the installation, you just need to come to your Launchpad and you can type OBS and you can see it over here, OBS Studio. This is the software. Once it opens, this is going to bring you to the main platform. Now let me show you through the interface. The first one you see at the top here is the main canvas, main preview canvas. This is where you can preview whatever you are recording and whatever source or device you are capturing, you'll be able to preview it from here. The next thing is you can come down here and see the basic controls. This is where you control all what you are going to do with OBS. For example, you can start your streaming from here. You can start recording if you're interested in recording your screen or you want to capture your camera. You can do all that from here. Or if you have installed a virtual camera, you can work with it directly. And then down here, you have the studio mode. This is when you may need to have a preview mode before you go live into your program, maybe your YouTube channel or on your Facebook. You can check out the preview over here, and once you're done, you can click on transition, and it's going to transit to the main program. So later I'm going to show you in a bit how to set up the transitions, what features you need to set up. But the default is cut. For example, you can set it to fade in or fade to black and so on. You can just select as you so wish, and you can play around with the intensity down here. Now the next thing is you can set in your basic settings from settings over here. I'm going to come back in detail to show you how to use the settings and what settings you should pay attention to while setting up your program or your software for recording or for live streaming. Next, you have the exit. You can exit the software on its own, or you can come down here and be able to view the live streaming. How many seconds or how many minutes have you been live streaming? And how many seconds or how many minutes have you been recording, and you'll be able to see the CPU usage and power. How much frame rate per second are you using, and is the system okay, or is going to start lagging, or is going to be overpowered? You'll be able to monitor the screen performance or the system performance from here. Next, you have the transition feature. Like I've explained here, there's another way to capture the transition. If you want to, it's another way to change the transition. You can add or delete transition, or you can add or delete effects, all from here. Now, if you want to exit the studio mode, you can just still come back and still exit just like so with just a simple click. The next thing is the audio mixer. This is where you set up or select the audio that you're going to do the recording or the capture. Okay, what audio device are you going to use? And you can capture everything from here. This is the desktop and this is the mic or auxiliary settings. I'll show you in detail how to set up the audio and even how to add some filter to be able to minimize noise and to improve the quality of the audio even during the recording or during your live streaming. The next thing is we have the sources. Sources are the list of devices or the different kind of options that you have in terms of what you need to show on screen. Do you want to capture your video? Do you want to capture your screen? Or do you want to capture an external webcam or any source, or maybe a presentation? You can capture it, everything from the source over here. So when you click on this plus sign, you'll be able to see the different source that you can capture. You can capture your audio input capture device. You can select which device you want to capture, and then the output device, you can define that from here. And then you can check in the color source, display source, images, slideshow, in case if you want to have a presentation directly, or media source, in case you want to capture a video, you want to showcase a video play to your audience, you can do that as well from here. You can add different kind of scenes. The text, you can add text also to your live stream. Later, I will show you how to add text while you are live streaming, adding text or even your logo if you want to put in everything. And then you can do video capture, video VLC video source or thereabout, or you can do Windows capture as you so wish. So depending on you, so you can select any source from here. And then sources are always a subset of scenes. Scenes are you must have a scene. Everything that is falling under a source must be within a scene. Okay, so scenes are maybe you want to capture a camera, and these are the series of cameras that you have, or you want to capture a video. These are the series of video sources that you have, or you want to have. You can have multiple scenes. You can have different scenes capturing different kind of options, and whichever one you can have the properties and the filters over here, you can add accordingly. Now let's start with the most basic, which is the settings over here. But there are two ways to get to the settings. Usually you can set them manually on your own following this procedure. At any time you want to kickstart your project or you want to kickstart a particular task, you can change the settings from here, or you can manually do automatically do like I used to follow. I can come all the way to the top over here and come to tools, and you can see auto configuration wizard. Once you click on this auto configuration wizard, then you're going to specify which of the options should the system optimize for. So you can optimize for streaming. Recording is temporary. If you want to go live streaming, okay, if you want to do live streaming, recording is just temporary. You just want to live stream, you can optimize for this, or you can optimize for recording. Streaming is secondary, so you can do any of them. Or if you want to optimize using your virtual camera, you can also do that. But in my own case, for this tutorial, I want to optimize for recording. Streaming is secondary. I'm just going to show you streaming just for demonstration purpose. So I can say next to this, after selecting optimizing for recording, streaming will be secondary. So you can share next to this, and you can just set everything. For the frame rate, I can go 30. I don't want to go below that, beyond that. And the canvas resolution, I can leave it at 1920 by 1080, which is the default, or the HD. Now you can go to the next, and it's going to automatically search or scan through your system and give you the best resolution that you can work with. It's going to set up everything for you and give you the best settings that you can always work with in this particular project that you're trying to work with. So you can see right now it has finished everything, and based on what it has found, the testing is complete. Then this is the final result. The first one is the base resolution, 1920 by 1080, and the output is set to 1920 by 1080 as well. And the frame rate per second is 30, and then the resolution encoder also, it has selected all the optimum things that you may need on your own to work with. This is one of the best methods because it automatically assesses the power of your system and gives you the best option that you can work with without stressing the system. So if you're okay with this, you can just go ahead and say apply settings, and it's going to apply this to your system. This is automatic. If you want to go manual, you can still come down to settings, and you have the general option, which I recommend you check. So the first thing I used to check here is the language. Of course, is the English language. If you have another language, you can choose from here. And then the theme is, if you want to, you can check it to dark theme. This is a dark theme, but I think I prefer the Yummy one, which is a default. I think it's kind of cool. And you can check in other features like outputs. You can show confirmation dialog when streaming is starting. Okay, when you start streams, you can select on this just to confirm, and then you can show confirmation dialog when stopping streams. In case if you accidentally try to stop this stream, it's going to pop up to confirm, and if it's not okay, then you can cancel that. And then you can have show confirmation dialog when stopping recording. I think I prefer all this as well. And then so these three are my main setup. You have to select all of them, and then you come down to check on other things. Usually I leave everything here you see at default. Okay, I don't touch anything. These are the general settings. You can come to the streaming settings. Here you can select which of the devices or which of the platforms you want to go live with. If you are going live, you can go live on YouTube, or you can go live on Twitch or Restream.io. You can go live on Twitter or Facebook if you want to go live, or you can show all here and to see you see but multiple different platforms that you can stream live on. I usually go for YouTube. For example, if you are going for YouTube HLS is usually my choice, and you can connect the account by just selecting on connect an account, and you can select the account that you want to connect with. In my own case, I want to connect this account, and it's just going to connect for me directly. So you can see right now it is seeking for my permission. I say continue, and it's just going to connect. Authorization completed successfully. You can now close this page, which means this channel, which means this device OBS had been connected to my YouTube channel. You can see it, Epic Mentorship. So you can disconnect at any given point if you are interested. And the output stage, you can define how much output or the device or the path that you want to output your document or your recordings. The output mode, I usually keep it as simple. And for the streaming, I usually leave it at 5,000 kilobyte per second. And the audio bit rate is 6,000. So the choice of the video bitrate is according to YouTube standard. You should always check it. It's between 3,000 to 6,000 kilobyte per second. That's the recommended one. So for this, I can go down. You can specify the recording path. Where do you want to save the recording? You can just select and define the path on your system, or you can go with the default path. And for the recording path, you can specify the recording formats. Usually the default is MP4, but sometimes you can find it at MKV, but just go ahead and select MP4, which is the best one. So the next thing is the audio. You can come to the audio. I don't usually touch anything from here except for the device I want to select. You can come to the mic auxiliary audio over here. If you have an external microphone that you're using, you can define it from here. In my own case, I'm going to use the C922 Pro Stream webcam. I'm going to use the microphone of this webcam. So I'm just going to select it. If your own case, you have a different microphone, you can always select and move on accordingly. As for the others, auxiliary 2, 3, 4, you don't have anything. You don't have to touch anything. And all the other details, you can keep everything at default. Then we have the video settings. Usually, you can select the canvas resolution settings, which is 1920 by 1080. If you have you can choose other resolutions as well by just coming down here. You can choose higher resolutions if you're interested, but I usually keep it at default 16 by 9, 1920 by 1080. And then the output resolution as well, I usually keep it at 1920 by 1080. You could choose to have higher resolutions. You can choose from here as well if you're interested. And then the bitrate, the frame rate per second, I usually keep it at 30 frame rate per second. Now the next thing is the hotkeys. If you're interested in defining hotkeys these are shortcut keys to enable you to have faster access and usage of the software. So for example, if you want to start streaming by pressing on the letter E, can enable that, or you can stop streaming by pressing on the letter W. You can define all this if you're interested. So you can put in different shortcuts. You can go ahead and check through and then select the different shortcuts that you're interested in. And then we have accessibility. These are for people who have disability, or maybe you may have issues with color. You'll be able to define your color from here. So you have the available ones, or if you want, you can select a given color by clicking on select a color. Then you can define your color or the color that you are targeting over here. So you can select any and say okay, and you can select that color and make it part of your color. And then we have the advanced settings. Here I don't touch anything as well, except that you can just go through this video settings. I don't touch anything here. And come down here, automatically reconnect. I usually make sure that this is ticked. So you can tick this, automatically reconnect. In cases when you have issues with your network, it will always reconnect back and you can continue with your live stream. So this is about settings. You can always come and say okay to this, and if accepted all the terms that you defined. So the next thing is I'm going to show you how to add scenes and settings from the scenes tab, from the scenes platform over here. So this is the default one, recording. If you like, you can rename it. You can rename it to something like screen capture. Once you rename it as screen capture, you can always come to the sources. Under the screen capture, you can select, and let's say we want to have video capture. That's the first one. So you can say video capture. You can leave it as video capture. If you want, you can redefine it or rewrite it to something else. Okay, so you can say okay to this, and then you can define the device. What device are you interested in capturing? In my own case, I'm interested in capturing my C922 webcam. So you can see it, C922 Pro Stream webcam. I can just select, and you can see me over here. Hello, and this is welcome to my house. So you can see, you can set the preset resolution to high if you want, and then you can just go ahead and say okay to this, and this is going to capture your camera. Okay, this is the live camera, the camera that you have. This is a Logi capture camera. So if you like, you can add other other sources. For example, you can select this and you can add other sources, like maybe you want to display your screen. So you can come to display capture over here. Okay, so you can come to you can add another scene by just clicking on the plus sign. You can add anything. For example, you may want to add this presentation, or you just want to add an image for your own display. So you can just select the image. You can rename it if you want. You can just say okay to this, and to be able to select the image by just coming over here, and you can go to the location where you have that image. For example, in my own case, I may select this and click on open, and it's going to display that particular image that I'm going to target. So this one. So you can just right click, you can just come to the edge, and if you want to just make it full screen, you can make it full screen. Or if you want to add another scene as well, you can still come over here and add another. For example, say I want to add in my screen over here, everything on screen capture. Okay, display capture, and you can see display capture. You can select, and now we are selecting our screen. So you can select, if you have multiple screens as well, you can go ahead and select from here which to display. If you want to have 2 monitors, you can select accordingly and add. And if you want to show your cursor, you can select this to enable you show your cursor during the tutorial or thereabout. I usually keep it at default, which is selected. So you can come and say okay to this, and this has selected this, and this is your screen. So you can resize it by coming to the edge and just keep dragging, right? So you can keep dragging, and you can resize it accordingly manually on your own if you want to. So you can keep resizing. You can see now we're getting it resized. Alternatively, you can just right click anywhere, come to transform, and you can go down here and say fit to screen, and everything is going to be fitted to screen. So this is it. You have the option to play around with the different scenes, sources that you've added. You can move them accordingly. You can bring this one to the top. Okay, you can see now I'm at the top, and you can take in the image and bring it to the top if you're interested as well, or the video, or the screen capture. If you are interested, you can bring it to the top as well. Or if you want to do picture in picture, in some cases you may want to showcase yourself while still delivering the tutorial. You can still do that. So let's say we'll come to the display capture, we take our video. Let's say we'll go to the display capture, we take it up. Let's say we'll to our display capture here, and then we want to assign our video on top of it. So, but then we want to select the video, and then we can minimize or reduce the sizing so that we can be able to see our tutorial as we display or explain this what is happening on the screen. So this is it. So let's say for this instance, I may want to remove this, or right click and remove. So I will leave my screen capture as well as myself over here explaining. Okay, so in some cases you may want to have your tutorials run this way. So you can select and you can go ahead with your tutorial. Now you can go ahead and add other scenes depending on you. So you can add another scene. Maybe you can call it my webcam. And you can say okay to this. And then you can maybe add the computer webcam that you have, for example. So you can go ahead and say video capture. But this time around, you can say devices too, or you can make it my MacBook camera. You can say okay to this. And then you'll be able to define the device accordingly. So let's say FaceTime HD, which is my MacBook camera. If you want to showcase that camera as well, you can select it and showcase it very easily. It's because I have my mic blocking it. So let me just move it a little bit so you'll be able to see it. Yeah. So this is my MacBook camera. So you can choose accordingly. And once you say okay to this, you can say okay, and it's going to be your MacBook camera. You can also right click, come to transform, and you can select it to fit to screen as well. So it's going to cover everything just like so. It's very easy and very nice. So depending on which scene you want to show or which sources you want to show at a particular scene, because right now you can add multiple scenes if you are interested. You can add other things as well, like you want to add audio capture. Okay, audio input capture. You want to select this and you can define the capture directly. So let's say audio capture, and I will make it my C922. All right, so I can just select this and you can define the device from here. Let's say I make it my C922, and I can say okay to this, and it has captured that device for me. All right, so it's very, very nice. So for this tutorial, you may want to add in different kind of filter to your audio. Okay, if you want to add filter to your audio, all you need is just to come over here. You can see the audio clearly defined, all the audios. You can be able to see and monitor the bit rates and monitor the the profiles from here. So you have two audios. The first one is the mic audio, the system audio, and then you have the my C922 that we've just defined. If you want, you can leave all of them, so you have backup of recordings, or if you want, you can disable one. So let's say if you want to add a filter to any of them, you can just come to that particular mic. For example, this one, you can come to the three dots over here and you come to a filter. Okay, so you can come to filters. You can see these are audio filters. You come to the plus sign over here. So usually I used to add three key filters. The first one is the noise gate. You can just select my noise gate. I can select, say okay, so I have my noise gate, and I usually leave it at default, and the sound used to be exceptionally superb. If you want, you can play around with the close threshold if you want, but -32 usually give me a very fantastic sound. And you have open threshold. If you want, you can play around with it as well, but keep everything at default. Another filter that I usually add is the gain filter, and I do keep that also at default, which is 00 dB. So, and then we have another one, which is the compressor. I usually add the compressor filter as well and keep it at default, but sometimes you can play around with the threshold. -18 is good, but you can increase the gain also from here or leave it at default. But you have the gain that we've just added. You can play around with the release, and you can try it and see what works best for you, and then see which of the selection works best for you that you can select. But these are the main filters that I add to any camera, any mic that I select. So for this tutorial, I want to utilize this screen capture mode, and I'm interested in only my video and this display capture using my Logi camera at the top of my screen, just one. So to start, all you need is just to come over here to start recording. If you want to record, so you can just click on recording, and you can pause the recording from this pause option over here if you're interested at any given point. But then let's say I've started my recording, and you can come down here and go to your desktop, and you can continue your recording very easily. So mind you, I'm recording my screen right now. So this is Netherlands, a very good website that I usually visit to have an idea into what's going on my whole day. So it's just like I'm showing you exactly. This is just a recording, so we can just search through. So once you're done with the recording, or you are starting with what you have, for example, you finish the recording of the things that you are interested in recording, maybe your screen, what they're about, you want to stop the recording or you want to pause the recording, you can still come back to your OBS down here, or you can come to the OBS at the top here. You have the option to hide, stop the recording, start streaming, or stop recording if you're interested, or you can start your virtual camera. So in my own case, I want to stop recording. We can come back to the OBS just like so, and you can pause recording or stop it accordingly. So let's say we stop the recording, and he's asking us, because we've enabled this, are you sure you want to stop recording? I say yes, I want to stop recording. And then to access the recorded documents that we've just the recorded video that you just recorded, you can still come over to the top here, go to files, and go to show recordings, and it's going to show me exactly where you save that recording, and you can see it over here. This is our recording, the one that we just recorded. So once you double click, it's going to open, and you'll be able to listen to it. I'm recording my screen right now. This is perfect. So this is what I've been expecting. So recording and showing my face as well. So this is one way of doing it. So in cases if you are interested in going live, you can still come down, select the device that you want to show, or select which of the media you want to show or sources you want to show. You can still come down here and you can click on the studio mode. Now you'll be able to see, because we've connected my YouTube channel, let's confirm it. This is it. So you can see from the stream, I've connected my YouTube channel, Epic Mentorship. So we're going to go live just for testing. So if you want to go live, you can come to the studio mode. Like I have explained earlier on, this is the stream mode. This is the preview screen capture. Okay, so whatever you want to add, whatever media you want to capture, you'll be able to show it at the preview stage over here before going to the live stream. So this is the main live stream. So once you start streaming over here, it's going to start streaming on your YouTube channel, on my own YouTube channel, and you have the option to interact with your viewers or thereabout. So depending on what you want to show, for example, I may want to show this myself and this capture, or if you want to go to the webcam capture only, and you can see it's just going to show this webcam and this is what it's going to display. And once I say transit, it's going to send in this webcam only, okay, to the screen, to the main channel. This is what is going to go live. If I don't want to show this, I can still go back and show only my video, or you can come to the webcam and select something else. So for example, I may select something else. Maybe I want to show only this. I can just put on the transit, and it's going to show only my screen capture and myself explaining the things. So this is basically how to go live, and you can play around with the transition features. How do you want it to transit? You want to put in fade in or fade to black or thereabout. You can be able to set in these preferences before you go live. In my own case, if I want, I can still go live by just starting to stream live, and it's going to start streaming live on my YouTube channel. The last thing that I may want to show you how to add is text. If you want to add in text to your live stream or your video recording, you can do that as a source. You come to the webcam over here, and you can come to the plus sign over here, and you can see text free type. You just select this text, and you can just say this is title. For example, you can say this is title. You click on OK, and be able to have this option to type in your title. For example, this is Dr. Rashid. Okay, I want it to capture my name. Select the fonts. Okay, can play around the different features of text editing features, like the font style. You can change the different font style from regular to oblique to light. You can choose accordingly from here, and you can play around with the sizing manually from here, maybe to 100. Maybe you can take this to 100. You can be able to see the sample over here. If you want to add strike through, you can add strike through. If you want to underline, be able to see underline. Or the writing system, you'll be able to select the writing system accordingly from here. So let's say I'm okay with what I have. Just click on OK, and then you can enable it like this with this font style and the features. This is what I want to just put, and I can put Epic Mentorship down here, for example. And once I say OK to this, I have the option to arrange this. You can come to the edge, make it smaller, all right? And then you can position it anywhere. Maybe I want to position it at this point. You can see, if you want, you can add your logo as well. So you can select this. Let's say I have my logo and I want to add it. So you can come to image. So you can define it and see logo here. And you can just go ahead and select your logo. So you can browse to locate it. So let's say I'm selecting this as my logo. I can just click on open, and it's going to pop up as my logo. For example, this is just an example. So you can resize it as well, and you can position it somewhere as well, wherever you want it. So you can just go ahead and start your live stream, very easy, or you can start your recording as I have explained to you. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have learned one or two things from this little tutorial on how to use OBS Studio just to record your screen or to conduct a live stream within your channel, your Facebook, or any kind of platform. You could choose, you could go ahead and try and practice on your own. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.